Hey guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And on this podcast, I wanted to talk to you guys about how the Grim Reaper is after the narcissist. The Grim Reaper is after the narcissist. If you guys don't know what the Grim Reaper is, the Grim Reaper is, the dark spirit, that's coming to collect. It's that, you're going to see an image of the Grim Reaper as someone dressed in black, someone where you can't really put the picture to the face. You can't match the face. It's just darkness, and a lot of times, the Grim Reaper, they're walking around with a machete looking stick, ready to slice you up and kill you, basically. They're coming to collect. The Grim Reaper, it's what, it causes its victims death by collecting that person's soul. The Grim Reaper is an entity that is believed to be manifested of death. The Reaper is not tasked to kill mortals, but merely ferry their souls to the afterlife. So, I've talked about, shadow beings, and I've talked about sleep paralysis when it comes to narcissism. And I've talked about a lot of this stuff. I'm kind of going to go over my experiences on this video just because, the more I think about my experiences, the more I put the pieces together, the more because sometimes I think back, and I try to eliminate what my experiences could have been. I try to think to myself, could it have been, something else, or was it in my head? Or, sometimes I'm like, do I have a mental illness? Because I know I'm not crazy. I know I saw what I saw, and I know that at one point in my life, I didn't believe in any of these things. I was taught to believe in God. And when I started to experience things in my life, my brother, someone I was really close to, get on drugs, and when they started to see spiritual beings, and I didn't believe in any of this stuff, because I just felt like it had to be a mental illness or drugs or something behind it. But I've always been spiritual. I just, I never thought that there would be a time in my life personally where I would finally see something with my own eyes. But one thing that I experienced with the narcissist was the Grim Reaper, that darkness, that bad energy that follows them. And the thing is that the narcissist actually knows it's following them. I used to think to myself, like, the narcissist, they're unaware. They're not aware of this type of darkness, but they're actually aware of it. They are witches. They are warlocks. These people, practice voodoo. They're into all types of things behind your back. You're just not aware of it. So, I've told you guys in other videos, the first sign that I realized looking back now, because I wasn't aware of what a third eye was. I wasn't aware of certain things when I met this person. And in the beginning, I remember them putting their thumb or their finger right on the center of right between my eyebrows, and they were touching my third eye. Or they would start like touching my heart, like they would put their hand right over my chest or right over my heart. And, I used to feel like weird. I would think to myself, like, stop playing around, thinking they're joking around, or they're just, acting a fool. And, looking back now, they were serious, because I even got the feeling when I was with them, like they were casting spells, like they were saying things in their head that I didn't know what they were saying, that I couldn't hear, right? So these people are casting spells on you They're casting black magic on you, because they have the Grim Reaper. They have the Grim Reaper chasing after them. That energy is chasing after them. It's coming to collect. And because it's coming to collect, the narcissist hides behind people, sources of supply, people with light, people with energy. Because the narcissist, the thing about it is that they're filled with nothing but dark energy, and they start to live in this delusional world where they really do feel as if destroying someone else is going to give them some type of power. So when they're around you, you're protecting them. You're like a shield, but they believe that by destroying you, they're going to gain your power, your energy. And they feel like when they're not with you anymore, they're going to leave with your energy to the point where the Grim Reaper isn't going to come after them anymore. So they feel like by sacrificing you, they're going to be in the clear. And for a long time, the narcissist is able to suck a lot of energy out of you. But what happens is that you wake up before they get the chance to kill you. You wake up before they get to really drain you from your energy. And when you wake up, you might not have a lot of energy, but you still have some blood left in you. So what happens is that you start to regain, your energy slowly, even if they're around you. Even if this narcissist is around you, you start to regain consciousness, you start to regain clarity. And once they realize that Grim Reaper is still coming to collect, and this Grim Reaper is upset because it's trying to get the narcissist, but it can't get the narcissist because you're in the way. Because the narcissist is blocking, they're blocking that Grim Reaper from getting them by using you as a shield. And if they're not using you as a shield, they have a backup shield, or they have family, or they have someone that they're portraying to be a victim to. But a lot of times the narcissist does become self-aware. So they go from someone who behaves in a way where they're like a warlock, like a witch, and then later on they realize, oh snap, I'm a conscious narcissist. I know what I'm doing. I know what I've done. I know what's going to happen next because of my own actions. So they know what's going to happen next. They become self-aware, and that's when they become self-aware. That's where they try to maneuver their way from being exposed, and they try to tell themselves and lie to themselves, and tell themselves that, they're going to change and they're going to make sacrifices. They tell themselves these things, and they probably even believe it. But then they fall back into their own sinful nature because they go back to past supplies. They go back to the people they've hurt, and they act apologetic, but then there's something, that addiction in them takes over. And here they go again, trying to steal energy from you. And a lot of times, they're not able to gain that type of energy from you. It becomes less and less and less. And that Grim Reaper is like, hey, this person knows. Where are you going to run to next? So in my experience, I remember the narcissist, I've told you guys before, I asked them, I said, whose side are you on? Are you on the dark side? Are you with the devil? Or are you with God? Are you with the light? And I simply asked him that question because something inside of me told me to ask him. Something told me to ask him. And a lot of times when my intuition is telling me to tell someone something about themselves, it could be anything. I can tell someone something that they'll look at me and they'll wonder, how do I know that type of information about them, because they've never told me, or they might have a secret they've never told anyone. And I just, it's like God speaks through me, right? And I realized when they were in front of me, I was supposed to ask them that question. Something told me, ask them this question just to see what they're going to say. And not only what they're going to say, but it was like God was telling me, ask them this because I've already given them enough chances, basically. I've given them too many chances. So I'm going to use you to ask them this question, because if they don't answer this question the way I want them to answer it, which is to choose light, right? To repent, then I can't protect them anymore. That's almost like the feeling that I had at that moment. And I knew I was right, because I had forgiven the narcissist, but I was already mentally gone. I was already like done. And another reason why I thought to myself like that it wasn't me going crazy at the moment. Another thing that made me realize that it wasn't me was the simple fact that when they were gone and I had time to finally wake up and see the world differently, because at that time I was coming into my consciousness and everything was different. The world looked different to me. Everything, the speed, the time changed for me. Everything changed for me. The way I looked at the sky, the sun, the way I questioned everything, the way I loved everything, the way I became one with everything. And I even became one with the narcissist, because I finally understood. And because I understood, I didn't have any more hate for them or anyone really, because I realized I knew who I was, and I realized that really nothing really matters but your peace. And I realized that the type of peace I had, the narcissist never has had in their life, or while I've been with them, at least in that relationship. So I realized this type of peace that I have right now, I never even knew what real peace was. And now that I have it, I know for a fact the narcissist never has felt like this. It's this unconditional love and this, trust for the universe, because, I got to a point where I didn't have anything but myself and God. And there was too many occasions where things were happening to me where I was like, this is God, because I don't have anyone. But I always tell myself, God is there. And even when my faith starts to decline, it's like God will show me, hey, I'm still here. As long as you want me to be here, I'm still here, right? And I remember just going through a lot at that time, but I got to the point where I forgive them. And, I caught myself just going from situation to situation. I remember one day at the gas station crying, and I was crying because I was so broke and I couldn't put gas in my car. And I had some money, and, I had some money on me, and I've never begged anyone for money or anything. I'm a very prideful person, I would say, where I just don't like asking for help, but I'm always helping others. So I realized in that moment where I cried, I was like, wow, I've been there for so many people and no one's here for me now. No one cares. Nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody cares, when you're going through that type of pain, no one really cares to understand, because it's not happening to them, or they only care about how they feel. So I remember getting out of the car, and some guy, as soon as I get out, the guy is like, hey, are you on E? And I basically told him, yeah, I'm going to put gas. And the guy just hands over the pump, and he's like, fill your car up. And, I was just kind of shocked, because I was like, wow, I was just crying about this, about, spending the last of my money on gas and just being, feeling broken. I was so broken at that time. And just, God kept helping me through these situations. It's like God basically told me and told me through different people that were helping me along the way, strangers. There were strangers that were helping me, and they didn't even know what I was going through. That's how I knew something was different about me. Something was different about my faith, because these people didn't even know me. And one of the guys that had helped me told me, before he disappeared and left, he said to me, he said, in life things are going to happen, but you just have to keep moving forward. And that always stuck to me to this day. Because I was shocked from all the things that were happening, where I was like, wow, God is real. I don't know what that is. That's just not good luck. I just didn't think that was good luck. It's not like I was there trying to manifest something good to happen to me. It was just like, I felt like God was just looking out for me, like he knew what I needed. He showed up at the right time. And he was using people, and that's when I realized, wow, just like we always focus on the devil using, the narcissist and bad people, but we never focus on, God using good people to get to us. And sometimes we treat people like less than, not knowing that this person could be a gift in our life. So I realized the narcissist does not understand that you're a gift. So that's what I came to do. I came to go through this suffering, but I would, as angry as people are at me for telling them the truth, I realized I was supposed to tell them the truth, because the truth will set everyone free. So even if they feel however they feel about me, it doesn't really matter, because I was supposed to break them out of that spell, even if they had to sacrifice me along the way in order to break that spell, that curse, because it's really about saving them, and not only saving them, but saving myself. And I realized I was supposed to tell that narcissist that day, who do you believe in? Something told me, I don't believe. I asked them that for no reason. And I remember they said to me, I think you know by now. So this person stole my youth. They stole, every dream I had. They stole every image of that I wanted for myself, at least the old version of me, right? The old version of me wanted a lot of different things, and I never got that. I never got to experience any of those things. And I used to tell myself, because I grew up in the church, I grew up preaching, and I was a kid. I was a child preaching, and I made people in my family popular because I was a kid preaching. And when I got older, everyone discarded me because I didn't have the same belief system. But I realized that God didn't want me to have the same belief system. God was pulling me away from that life with my family, and pulling me away, making me lose my religion, literally. And I used to ask myself, like, how could I have done so many good things? I used to go to convalescent homes and hospitals and visit sick people and pray for people whose kids just got murdered around the corner. And, I used to go out here with my family and help out in the community. And, I felt like I got used. I felt like I got used to make other people look like they're good people when they weren't really good people. And I realized I was supposed to tell that narcissist. I realized I had a gift, and I was supposed to use that gift. And the last person I was supposed to wake up was that narcissist. In order for me to continue my new life, I was supposed to tell them, hey, you have to pick a side. It has nothing to do with me. I just have to ask you this question. And I remember after I asked them that question, and they basically answered me, and they said, I think you should know by now, meaning that, I like the darkness, I'm with the darkness. Another thing that I started to notice about them was that they started to dress in black all the time. Like, now looking back, they started to always wear black. And I remember I used to start thinking to myself, like, they're always wearing black all of a sudden. But I didn't think too much into it, right? And when I asked them, that question, and they basically, told me they're on the dark side, Like they're going all out. They're on the dark side. They don't, if if someone asks you, are you on God's side or are you the devil's side? And they tell you, you should know by now. If a narcissist tells you that, what do you think they're implying, especially when they've never done anything good in your life to benefit you? What I also believe about narcissists and dark energy, because I don't believe that dark energy can be all the way bad either, because I do feel like what my lesson was to let go. I was basically, supposed to reject the narcissist, stop protecting them, ignore them, understand that it's okay to forgive, but I had to let go because the narcissist wasn't living in their truth. This is why I say it's not so much that they're behaving in a way that's dark, it's that they're abusing it. So because the narcissist isn't living in their truth, everything that they're doing that's in the dark has to come to light eventually anyway. And every time it comes to light, they're avoiding it. And this is why I say they are avoiding the Grim Reaper. And not only are they avoiding the Grim Reaper, but they're trying to get you punished for their sins. All they've been doing is sabotaging you, hating on you, jealous, judging you, trying to perceive you as someone that you're not, trying to tell you who you are. It's like they don't realize that you had a life before them, as much as they want to criticize you. So I realized in that moment that the window had like these curtains or whatever where you can kind of see through the window a little bit. You could see the shade, the light. And when they answered that question, I see like an image running around the window. And it was like the image couldn't come inside because I was protected, because my space is protected. But because that narcissist was in my space, I feel like the spirit, whatever was attached to them, was literally outside of the window because I just saw something flash. And what was so creepy about it is that this time, I've shared with you guys the first time I've seen that dark, shadowy image, which now thinking about it, this is why I'm making this video calling it the Grim Reaper, is because, I've talked about shadow people, but the more I see how things were going at that time, I realized that these images that I was seeing looked different. So the first image that I saw in the woods that I've told you guys about before was when I was in the woods with them, and we were basically going through this little hiking trail where there was like a stream of water and rocks, and we're in the middle of nowhere, and I look over to the narcissist, and I'm kind of like squatting down, but I'm not like sitting on the floor, but I'm squatting all the way down. And I remember I was drinking water or something, and I look up at them because they're standing over me a couple of steps away. And the wind just kind of like blows. And when the wind blows and it gets kind of mellow, I see like a shadow figure going so fast around the narcissist. And it was like the shadow figure was going around him, and it was staring right at him from the side, and he was looking straight at me. So the image was of a shadow being looking at him. I didn't really see any feet or anything like that. It looked like smoke. It looked like smoke, and it looked like a human being's body, but I didn't see any feet. So I saw this image looking at the narcissist, and the narcissist was looking at me, and they gave me this look like they seen a ghost, basically. And I'm looking at the figure, and the figure turns around and it looks at me while it's right next to him on the side. And when it looks at me, it sees that I was looking dead at it, and then it comes rushing at me. It goes around him, back around him, and it comes straight at me, and it goes right in front of me, right? Like, I'm literally at the edge of this stream, and it goes right in front of me, in front of the water. The sun is out. I'm in the daytime. The sun is out. So this is how I know I wasn't crazy in the dark watching stuff, because when I look at the figure, there were these golden eyes staring at me, and I wasn't scared. I didn't feel scared. I felt like, all I remember was that I basically spoke telepathically, and I said, I'm not scared of you. And it's almost like it talked back to me, and it said, well, you should be. And that's when I kind of was like, whoa, and it just went around me, behind me, and it disappeared. And I look at the narcissist, and I was like, did you see that? And he said, what are you talking about? And I said, did you see that? Because I'm testing him out to see if he saw what I saw. Because he had this look on his face where he was kind of stuck. And he said, a shadow? He literally said it himself. He said it. He said, a shadow? And I was like, yeah. He said, was it right next to me? Like, he like looked like right next to me, like exactly where I saw it, on his left side, which would have been my right side. And I was like, yeah, it came over here in front of me. You didn't see it right in front of me? He's like, no, I didn't see it. So he didn't have the eyes to see, but he felt something on his peripheral. So he felt something on the side. He just didn't see it with 20/20 vision the way I did. So I was shocked a little bit, because I was wondering, why did I see it and he didn't see it? Then I thought to myself, well, maybe I'm crazy, right? But then I'm like, well, he saw it too. So then, when I told you, I asked them this question, hey, do you believe in God? Who do you believe in? Because at this point, I have to make a choice for myself, for my sanity, for my energy, because this is what I started to come up with, the conclusion that this entity, the Grim Reaper, is after the narcissist. It's been after the narcissist. I'm finally realizing it, but something about me still doesn't want to believe it. So I almost feel like it was manifesting to let me know, like, you're not crazy. And not only that, but I told you guys that I was making a video for this podcast, and then I got interrupted during my podcast, and something took over my speaker. I have a speaker. It turned on by itself. It was off. It turned on. There was a voice speaking through it, and when I got up to turn off the speaker, the voice said, wait. It was like it was trying to communicate something with me. I don't believe that it was bad. I just believe it wanted to communicate something with me. It might have been bad. It might have went through something, but I don't feel at that time, I don't feel like it was trying to attack me. It was literally trying to tell me, I believe, it was trying to tell me, how did it become what it became? And it was trying to warn me, but I was kind of freaked out by it, that I turned off the radio, because I was like, am I going crazy? And I turned off the radio, but then I caught it on a recording, because I told you I was recording this podcast. So I did catch the voice, and I said, I'm not crazy. The voice is recorded. There's no way you're crazy. The voice is recorded. And it was just thing after thing. So when I asked this narcissist, whose side are you in? And they said, I think you should know by now. To me, they were letting me know, like, they already know their time is coming. They already know that they're hiding. They already know that, that things are getting worse for them. And it was as if when I told them about this shadow being, it was kind of like they were okay with it. They weren't that surprised. You know how, like, most people would be freaked out if we both saw the same thing? It would freak you out, and you would just talk about it because you're freaked out. it was like they didn't even talk about it. They were kind of like, what, the shadow that was right next to me? Like, they were acting oblivious to it. So when I asked them, what side are you on, it just confirmed to me more and more that this person is aware that there's some darkness around them, and they're okay with it. They've chose that darkness. They're they feel like they were created to almost bring balance into this world. Like, the narcissist feels like that's their role to do, you know, but they don't see that there's certain changes that they're supposed to also, you know, comply with. Basically, there's rules. Even if they do have a role to play, there's also rules. And I think that the narcissist, they're like a hungry vampire that just starts feeding on any and everything. So this is why I think that that energy follows them around. It just started like getting to a point where I would think about something, right? And then I would like put it, like, I would study the narcissist at that point. I was already detached emotionally, but it's like every time I question something, and I question these things because I would have like an epiphany in my mind where my mind would just start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And I remember thinking to myself, you know, based on the experiences with these shadow people that my brother went through when he was on drugs. And I started to think, and I was like, my brother used to talk about this, and I didn't believe him. Then I started to tell myself, well, maybe the narcissists, they're on drugs. And maybe they've been on drugs the whole time I've been with them. It's like my conscious self was just talking to me. So, you know, I tested the narcissist. I started to like say little things to them like, you know, I've never done drugs. I've never done this. I really want to try this for the first time. Like, I would say little things to them, trying to make them feel comfortable. And a narcissist, as manipulative as they are, if you're into what they're into, it's like they fall for your trap. Like, they're so dumb, they just fall for it. So I could tell that this person was hesitant, but I knew that the type of people they were hanging around, like the type of stuff that they were doing, I was like, they have to be on drugs. They have to be doing something. And that's when, you know, everything just started to add up. They started to expose themselves to me. And that's literally when I started to realize, like, every time I had something that made me question this person, and they would gaslight me, that's when I realized that they were playing with me. And I realized, wow, like, this had been going on for so long, to the point that I'm seeing all these dark entities trying to warn me to wake up. Another experience that I went through after that was that I was sleeping. I was going through sleep paralysis. It was, you know, what was so crazy is that I told you guys when I came into consciousness, I had a miscarriage. The narcissist basically didn't care. And that was basically why I was going through a lot of, I wouldn't say stress, right? I was going through a lot of stress, but that's what made me get rid of the narcissist. And that's where I came into clarity. And that's when I found peace. When I started to find peace within myself, that's when I realized, you know, this person, how toxic the narcissist basically was. But when me and the narcissist were talking and they were apologizing for what they put me through, I wanted to hear them out. You know, you just want that closure where you want to hear them out. And I realized that, you know, how important it is not to get closure. Because what I experienced after that, it was like the Grim Reaper was warning me, like, stay away from this person, you know, like, trust me, like, you're going to end up getting hurt by being around them, basically. I feel like his time is coming, and it's like, you need to get away from him. Like, this is it, right? Don't try to get validation or anything from this person because they're here to take your energy. So when I was having sleep paralysis, I remember, that feeling you get like someone's watching you, like someone's there. And I remember my door was wide open. And I feel like someone was there. And the presence that I felt was a familiar spirit. And it felt like the spirit of the narcissist. And I was so used to them, like, I was used to our routine and them coming home from work late at night. And I was used to the routine. So at that time when I was asleep, I almost felt like my spirit was going back to that time where he used to come in. Like I felt that familiar spirit of him walking in. So I'm sitting here, I'm laying here trying to break out of this sleep paralysis, and I knew it was his spirit. And I'm like, to be honest with you, I felt like it was the spirit was trying to rape me, and I didn't allow it to rape me. So I'm like waking up, and I just felt like something in a sexual way, but I'm having sleep paralysis. So I break out of the sleep paralysis once I become conscious and I realize something's going on. Someone's here. I felt the presence of the narcissist. And I wake up, and that entity just starts to run. And I could hear like the footsteps. That's what I heard. I heard footsteps running. And I don't know if the footsteps was, I don't know if it was like astral projection. I don't know if it was what it was. I just know it ran out. And I know it was somehow, whatever this energy is, it's attached to the narcissist. And I believe that because the narcissist wasn't able to get energy from me, I believe that he came in my dreams to get energy from me. That's why it was trying to use me. So I feel like the narcissist was trying to gain energy from me because this is why they know when you're moving on. They know when you're hurting. They know when you're sad. They know when you're still like confused. So I feel like that energy was trying to get me, but I was already self-aware of who they were. I knew that it was a bad entity, that the narcissist has a bad entity because, they've proven it to me time and time again. I've even asked them, who do they believe in? And they said, you should know by now. So I knew that entity was them, that dark entity that they have attached to them. And when I heard the footsteps running down, I told you guys that at the time when I was living with my mom, I heard her in her sleep screaming. So I hear the footsteps, then I hear her screaming like I couldn't pronounce what she was saying, but it was like she was mumbling and screaming. So I run into the room because I'm fully awake and I'm fully conscious and I'm listening to the footsteps running, and I'm like, what in the hell is that, right? Now I run into the room, and she's like mumbling, like she's trying to break out of her sleep and she can't. It's like someone's holding her down and she's trying to like move and she can't. And she's mumbling. She's just saying like, she's like yelling, but she's trying to say like help, but she can't. So I start shaking her up and I turn the light on and I'm like, I'm here. I'm okay. It's okay. And she tells me, can I go sleep with you? That's how freaked out she was, where she's like, can I go sleep with you? Because I felt like something was watching me, like it was looking at me, sleeping. At that moment, that's when I realized I'm going through some type of warfare, and that narcissist is really trying to get energy from me, even from a distance. And that's when I realized how disturbing these type of people are. I literally wanted to make excuses for what was going on. I wanted to blame it on stress, on anything, but that's not what it was. the moment that, I left that person, it was like the battle had just begun, you know? It's like the real battle had begun. And honestly, I had to redeem myself from being around that toxic energy. And that's when I was like, well, if I'm crazy, right? Because I'm just thinking to myself, like, I have to be going crazy. But I'm thinking, like, if I'm going crazy, why is it that she had sleep paralysis at the same time? Why is it that I heard something? Why is it that she felt something? And, how can two people experience sleep paralysis like back to back at once at the same time? So that's what I thought about. I thought about the narcissist and seeing that dark figure around them. I thought about when I asked the narcissist, hey, whose side are you on? And when they said, you should know whose side I'm on. And I saw something like a shadow. It literally looked like, what's that movie called? With the foil where they have, like, the kids are wearing the foil on their heads. What is it called? Signs. The movie Signs. You guys remember where there was like an alien figure that was skinny and it walked by really fast? That's how it looked, like a skinny something figure, like it just moved, like it walked by really fast. And why I've called these people shadow beings and stuff. And I really don't want to get too much into each of the of my perception on the shadow beings, because I'm still kind of like, I wouldn't, a lot of people tell you they're bad and they're evil. But I believe that just like there's bad, there's good. I don't know, you know, maybe, the auras are different, but all I know is that with those experiences that I've had, and the narcissist hoovering me after all those experiences, after revealing themselves to you, to me, after telling me, that they're basically choosing evil, but yet they're still hoovering me. They're still trying to get in contact with me. They're still trying to drain me from supply. They know what they've done to me, and there's no signs of them trying to repent, of just, apologizing and just going along, just live your life. Like, stop bothering people, it's like you can't move on with your life and end things on a good note with these people, no matter what you do. And what I realized when they were hoovering me was that they were sending me gifts, they were sending me money, they were sending me flowers, they were doing a lot of things to try to get my attention, to try to bribe me. And that's what that narcissist angel in disguise does, is that they breadcrumb you. And a lot of times you wonder, well, why don't they celebrate me? Or, why do they do all the things I wanted to do with the next supply? Because getting anger out of you, getting sadness, getting any type of energy out of you, you just sitting there thinking they're doing better, that's giving the narcissist energy. And that's all the narcissist really cares about, is energy. So when they're breadcrumbing you and they're not doing anything in the relationship that you want, and then they do it with someone else, like I said, that's all to get attention. But when they breadcrumb you and they discard you, or, when they discard you and hoover you, that's when they'll do all the things that you've always wanted to do. It's like when you're with them, they start to devalue you, but when they're trying to hoover you back, they're breadcrumbing you, because now they're sending you flowers. They're doing things that they never do, that they know that you want, just to get energy out of you, just to get a response out of you. And then when they do something nice for you, when they should have done it either way because you deserve it, because of their treatment, then they'll flip it around. They'll breadcrumb you. Once you accept the breadcrumbs, now they're telling you, oh, I did this for you. I did that for you. Oh, look, I gave you these breadcrumbs and you didn't even appreciate the breadcrumbs. You're selfish. You're greedy. And when I realized, wow, this person is so sick that they're breadcrumbing me. They're trying to get back in and they're willing to do and say anything, but they don't really even mean it. And I remember ignoring them, right? I'm ignoring them. And I remember they sent me another message through an email. They sent me an email. So, they were blocked from everything. I had a new number and everything. And they're sending me an email. And on the email, they basically said, hey, happy birthday. I'm like, basically, it wasn't even my birthday. It was like 2 weeks after my birthday. And they said, oh, snap. Like, they basically said, oh, I just realized your birthday just passed. I just wanted to say happy birthday. And then they're like, even though you tried to kill me, he said, even though you tried to kill me, but it was really the opposite, thing. He tried to kill me. So it's crazy that narcissists are that sick, that demonic, that evil, that they'll sit there and tell you that you did to them what they've done to you. And not only have they been telling this to other people, they'll even come around months, years later telling you this and really believing their own lies. And even if they don't believe their own lies, even if they know they're full of it, they're just trying to get a reaction out of you. And on the message, it also said, even though you tried to kill me, but hey, everyone's trying to kill me. Everybody wants me dead. They basically made it about themselves. And I was like, wow, like this person is sick in the head. And, the longer you're away from these type of narcissists, as far as being in a relationship with them, and you just start paying attention to like strangers or friends and family, and you see how everyone only cares for themselves, and they're selfish, and they don't believe that they're selfish. When you see those type of behaviors and you see that the narcissist is approaching you that way, it makes you sick to your stomach, because you realize, wow, I've been in a relationship with this type of person, and they really don't see anything wrong with their behavior. Like, they don't even see it as being demonic. And even if it's like, even if you did see them as being demonic, to them that's a compliment, because they're filled with that dark energy. And I used to think to myself, like, well, if you're crazy, right? Because I didn't grow up watching movies. Like, my my family, like, they didn't believe in me watching like cartoons, Disney movies when I was younger. I was born into like a really religious family where they didn't even like, we used to watch the news. And I remember eventually my grandmother would say, like, turn the news off. Like, I don't even want to watch the news because they're just scaring people, and there's always problems. They're full of it, basically. So what I started to do as an adult now is that I started to watch movies, things that I've never seen before, movies that most people have seen already. Like, I had to go over all the classic movies from the beginning, from like the Disney movies from the start, right? And just work my way up here and there. And I started to notice that shadow being, that grim reaper, the big yellow, golden, reddish, dark, black eyes, all those shadow beings are in the movies. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. And I remember going to Netflix, and I put I put movies, I put God movies, on the search bar, God movies. And I remember the first movie that popped up was, it was called Godless. Godless. And there were so many movies that were like very demonic. And I was like, wow, I typed in God movies on Netflix and they don't really have a lot of God movies. And then I typed church movies, and then I got like a couple of plays, like low budget movies, like two of them or something. And I noticed that every movie was very, demonic. And I was like it had that bad spirit in it, where everything is about vampires and witches and werewolves. And I was like, this is some really spooky stuff, like the world that we live in. And just the simple fact that, I thought that I was really losing it in a way, because I was like, maybe I'm seeing things. But like I told you guys, these things were only happening to me when I was seeing these shadow beings. It was when I was around that narcissist, like at the end of the relationship. At the end of the relationship, and when I allowed them to come back to apologize, and I was giving them the opportunity to validate what they did, because it was like I guess I just wanted to really know, like, is this person really this demonic? And then it's like, here goes this shadow being again, running across the window. And I was like, oh yeah, they're demonic. You have to stay away from them. Then they're sending me emails telling me, oh, you tried to kill me. Everyone's trying to kill me. And I'm like, I didn't do anything to you. And I'm thinking to myself, when I left the relationship, the sleep paralysis that I got, why is it that I'm not the only one that got the sleep paralysis? Why is it that the narcissist saw the shadow being next to him? Why is it that my brother got on drugs and they were talking about shadow beings? Like, why is it that people that are doing wrong are the ones that are seeing these shadow beings? So then I started to feel like, well, why am I seeing it? Am I bad? Am I evil? Why am I seeing it? And I feel like the reason I was exposed to see it was to stay away from the narcissist, because that grim reaper is after them. And that's what I thought to myself too. I said, well, the grim reaper, why is he exposing himself? Why are these shadow beings exposing themselves to me? But when I got rid of the narcissist, all of a sudden I've never experienced anything like that again. I've experienced like feeling bad energy or feeling like dark energy, like auras, but it was never that vividly the way I saw it when I was around the narcissist. It was like that dark cloud was really thick. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go somewhere and I can feel negative energy. I can feel black auras around me. But when I was around the narcissist, that was the beginning of my awakening to the auras. Like now I can see people's auras, and I won't panic. I won't panic. I wasn't panicking when I was going through these situations with the narcissist either. I wasn't panicking, but now I'm able to understand what it is, and I'm not afraid of it, because I know that I'm not doing anything wrong, or I'm protecting my energy, or I'm not out here trying to destroy anyone. So I'm okay. I'm not out here messing with people. So I'm good. But when people are messing with people, I see the auras around them, and I'm like, oh, that person, got to stay away from them, or that person's up to something, because I see and I feel their aura. So the beginning of me seeing these type of auras was when I was with this narcissist. That was like when I finally started to see different dimensions, and I was able to finally see it with my own eyes. And I don't feel like, even when this entity told me and looked at my eyes and they said I should be scared, I feel like they were just letting me know, like, it's real. Like, you're not seeing stuff. Like, it's not all in your head, because why is it that every time you tell someone something's going to happen, it happens? Why is it that people are flocking to you for answers, wondering, why do you know this stuff? Why is it that you're opening people's eyes and you're making them see, hey, don't just focus on the evils of this world. Also know that there's good. Just like evil is used, good is used too. So you have to decide what side you want to be on. And that's what I told the narcissist. And they said to me, you should know by now. Months later, they're sending me emails telling me I'm trying to kill them. And I said to myself, well, there you go. There's your answer. I was trying to warn you. I tried telling you. Just like I told you guys when I saw the shadow being and they saw it too. Most people would want to talk about these things, and these things would probably even bring you closer to your partner, because you're like, wow, we just saw some crazy stuff, right? But they're looking at me like, I've already seen this before. I already know this. The Grim Reaper is after me. You don't have to tell me. I don't even really have to physically see it. I know it's coming for me. And the narcissist feels like they're a victim. They feel like they're a victim. Even they don't see that you were a gift in their life. Like, once you wake up and realize what's going on, you have the gift of forgiveness, right? And you're willing to forgive the narcissist. But the problem is that they're not willing to see that you're a gift in their life. That's where the problem is. And just me asking them a simple question, whose side are you on? I don't believe that I asked them that question for no reason, like I told you guys. And later on, he's literally saying, oh, everyone's trying to kill me. And it's like, I already knew he was going to go, through his karma. I already knew these things. I knew what was going to happen before it happened. I've been making videos about this for years now. I've been knowing what's going to happen for years, not just for that narcissist, but to other people in my life, in my past life. This is why I realized that everything was happening because this Grim Reaper was letting me know to basically let these people go. So if this Grim Reaper is telling me let these people go, they can't, the Grim Reaper can't be that evil if he's telling me let this person go. If he's telling me, hey, I'm trying to get this person, you're in the way, and he's showing me with my own eyes, then there's a reason why the narcissist's time is up. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why the narcissist is constantly trying to communicate through you, through your dreams, trying to even get energy out of you through your dreams. Isn't that crazy? And then they can't get the energy through your dreams. So the Grim Reaper is like, hey, I'm here to collect. She can't save you, not even in your dreams. She's awake. She's lucid dreaming now. She knows what's going on. Where are you going to give me more energy? Your time is coming. Your time is up. This is why you need to stay away from the narcissist, because even if they don't physically die, they spiritually die. And if they spiritually die, it means that they're always going to be in pain. They're always going to be stressed. They're always going to be in turmoil. There's always going to be problems around them. So let these people go, because if you don't, you're going to destroy yourself. Trust me, from someone who's taken a lot of losses. I've destroyed a lot of things in my life because of one person that I chose. And even now, I still have hope. My hope is what's keeping me, motivated. my hope, because sometimes I'm like, dang, how did I go from someone that, like I said, grew up preaching and in the communities and helping people, and in the end, no one helped me. And I'm still fighting every day alone, but I'm actually in peace because I actually know that I have guardian angels protecting me, watching me. So this is why I say the Grim Reaper is after the narcissist. And that's what I've came up with. And it's not a mental illness. I'm not seeing things. There's no way that I'm seeing things. I wanted to believe for a long time that I was seeing things until I even got the electromagnetic voice phenomenon recorded on my video. And that's when I was like, no, something's going on. The energy, even if it's not, there's energy. There's energy. And I do believe in energy, if there aren't any entities, right? I still believe in energy. I still believe in the universe. I still believe in God. And I do believe that sometimes there's just things that happen in your life, signs that are trying to direct you to another direction, because the universe knows that things can get worse being around these type of people. They have a lot of built up karma from a long time, and they know that. A lot of them know that, and that's why they're angry, because they know they have to pay for it, and they're mad. They're mad because they feel like there's no way out. They might as well go all in. But they don't even know the power of God. They don't even want to believe. But how can you believe in evil, but you don't want to believe in good? Just because there's evil everywhere, why is it so hard to believe in good? So that's the problem with the narcissist, is that they have more faith in evil than good. And, you can't tell someone what to have faith in. They literally, I asked them, I said, are you with God or are you with the devil? Like, whose side are you on? Are you with God or are you with the devil? Good or bad, you should know by now. That was his answer. You should know by now. Basically, and he said it in a way where it was very arrogant, like, you know what I'm about. You know what I've done to you. You know I'm not going to change. You know I'm not going to change my answer. I'm sticking with what I've done. I'm willing to pay for it. I'm okay as long as I do what I want to do. I'm willing to pay for it. And you're sitting there telling them, well, you're going to pay the price. And I told them, I said, something bad's going to happen to you. And they said, you're trying to curse me. And I said, no, something bad's going to happen to you. And later on, they're emailing me, oh, everyone's trying to kill me. Because I'm not there to protect you anymore. I tried to protect you. I understand that my mission was to help you. My mission has always been to help other people. Because everyone that has ever wronged me has either, wronged me again, but they finally showed me who they really are. And I've realized that once I was able to come around people, and some people apologize for, once you come into that consciousness, you'll have people apologizing to you because they know you're awake now. And now it's your turn to watch them suffer. And you're not sadistic in any way, so you'll try to help these people, but you'll see that if you try to help them, they'll bite the hand that feeds them. And then you're like, oh, okay, now I see that my purpose was to plant seeds, but I can't do anything about their sins. I can't do anything about that. They're choosing not to change. And even when you tell them and you warn them, because I've warned people and they think I'm joking, and I've warned them because I see danger coming. I see it. I see the auras. And they'll ignore me like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And then when it finally hits them, that's when they'll contact me and they're like, hey, and they're trying to to get me to validate their experience, but then they go back to being evil again. And then that's when I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. I'm not supposed to stick around. I have to keep on moving. So that's what an empath is supposed to do. It's just that we stay stuck with these people, giving them so much energy until we have none. And then when we don't have energy anymore, that darkness is like, you need to get out of this person's face. They already took too much energy, and they weren't even supposed to take that much. So the Grim Reaper, you guys, the Grim Reaper is after the narcissist. So stay away. Let the new supply, whoever they're with, let other people deal with them. You don't know if they're dealing with another narcissist, if they're going to get their karma back with another narcissist. You don't know if they're dealing with an empath, and this empath needs to go through this situation so that they can be saved and they can wake up. And you don't know whether that empath is going to stick around for the long run, or if they're going to wake up and leave this narcissist alone, because it always looks good. The narcissist always wants to make you feel like they're getting away with their, from karma. And they'll tell you, I don't believe in karma. These are the people that tell you that they don't believe in karma. Those are the main people you need to watch out for. Right there. They're already letting you know right there. It's like, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in karma. I don't believe in, I don't believe in anything happening to me if I wrong someone. Those are the people you need to watch out for. So I hope that this message, you guys, was helpful for your healing. I hope that my experiences can, show you what you're dealing with. You might look at the narcissist as their physical appearance, but that's not who they are. Just like when people look at you, because people, when I realized, what I realized too, right, is that a lot of people will look at me and they'll assume certain things about me, or they'll look at me and they're like, oh, she's a sweetheart, or she's this. They don't really understand that I actually have tough skin. And then when they see that I have tough skin, and they see like that there's different layers of me, they realize that they don't really know me the way they think they know me. And they realize like there's more to me than meets the eye. And that's because of the way you converse with people. That's because of your knowledge. That's because of your patience, your forgiveness. That's because of your understanding. That's because of you not taking things personal. When people see that you value yourself, you value your energy, they value you too. So, it's always good to make sure that your energy is always clear from that negative energy, because as long as you keep surrounding yourself with narcissists, you're going to continue to have bad luck, and you're better off without these type of people, because even if bad things happen, they're not really bad things. Not the way, it's not the same from like when you're with a narcissist and bad things are happening back to back. When you're away from the narcissist, bad things are going to happen, but you're going to see that there's always going to either be a solution to the problem, or this bad thing happened because it's trying to push you to something better. So you might think, oh, why is this happening to me? I'm supposed to have good luck now. It's pushing you away to something better. So, if you guys want to book with me, I'll have my information on the description. Just make sure you give me like 24 hours to respond so that you can book a session with me. If you guys like this video, you guys, do not forget to like, do not forget to share, do not forget to comment, do not forget to, like. And I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, and peace, and I will talk to you guys on the next podcast. Love you guys. Bye.